Hey guys, it's Crystal and we're back with another unboxing. This time, the MacBook Air. Because just like the MacBook Pro, the MacBook Air got some updates. So let's open it up together and see what we got here. Let's open it. We got space gray 13-inch MacBook Air, looking beautiful. Oh, doesn't feel, obviously size-wise from the MacBook Pro that I just opened up, it's not gonna feel that different, but it is thinner because it's a MacBook Air. But yeah, I wanna do like a side-by-side comparison from this to that one, just to see how much are we giving up if we go with the MacBook Air. And this starts at $10.99 now, but if you're a student, you can get it for $9.99. So this might be the perfect MacBook for you if you don't need all the extra power from the MacBook Pro. But here it is. Let's see what else is here before I start opening it up. Paper, baby brick, because MacBook Airs don't require as much power to charge them up. So we got a little baby brick and the cable. I just want to see the stickers because you always have to. Oh yes, I forgot the colored stickers. Hey, that's the reason right there to get the MacBook Air, because you get colored stickers, not just the basic white ones. Space gray. I had the gold ones from last year, but now I got space gray ones. Oh, these look beautiful. Okay, time to set it up and compare it to the MacBook Pro. Now, some initial similarities to the new 13-inch MacBook Pro that we just took a look at. We also have here two Thunderbolt 3 ports. We have the updated 4th gen butterfly keys. Can you guess what language that was? We don't have Touch Bar here, but we do have Touch ID and the T2 chip. Now with the T2 chip, even though we don't see Touch Bar here, we still get some of the other benefits that we saw in the MacBook Pro, like secure enclave for Apple Pay and HVC acceleration, which we'll see really soon. Now this video is really about the new MacBook Air, but since I just opened up the new MacBook Pro last week, I thought it'd be cool to put them side by side and really see what the differences are. For starters, even though this is space gray, you do get a gold option with the MacBook Air that you don't get with the Pro. When it comes to displays, they're pretty close, especially with Apple bringing Retina displays to the MacBook Air last year, but really the biggest difference that you're gonna notice from the Pro to the Air is the MacBook Pro is brighter and more color accurate. If you remember last year, there was a little bit of controversy with the MacBook Air only being 300 nits versus the Pro at 500 nits, but earlier this year, Apple silently updated the Air to 400 nits, which is what we see here, and it makes a big difference. Like I said, the MacBook Pro is a little more color accurate thanks to its P3 color gamut, which we don't see on the MacBook Air, so if you're editing a lot of photos and videos, you're probably gonna prefer the Pro versus the Air. With that said, the MacBook Air display is still really beautiful, especially now that it's brighter, so if you're not editing a lot of photos and videos, you're still really gonna love it. Now, something that is new on the Air that we didn't see last year is True Tone, so the display will adapt to the temperature of the lighting that you're in, and it's really one of those small features that you don't really appreciate until you have it. Now, as you'll see in a second, the MacBook Pros this year got way more powerful thanks to that quad-core update that they got. This MacBook Air, though, has a dual-core processor clocked at 1.6 gigahertz. Something interesting though with this MacBook Air compared to the MacBook Pro is that it has a lower wattage processor. That's why it uses that little baby charger. But since it draws much less power, it's gonna give you a lot better battery life. So from there, normally you would think the MacBook Air having Air in its name would mean that it's a lot lighter than the MacBook Pro, but it's actually only 0.27 pounds lighter than the Pro. So it's not a huge difference, but it's definitely lighter. What's kind of weird though is the MacBook Air is actually thicker at its thickest point compared to the Pro, but it does taper off at the end, so it feels thinner. Now in terms of performance, just like the MacBook Pro, we also see hyper-threading here, but with all those extra cores and threads, we can clearly see the MacBook Pro is faster. Jumping into Geekbench 4, the MacBook Air stood pretty close to the Pro when it comes to its single core score at 4065 versus 4743. But when it comes to multi-core, because of all those extra cores and threads, aka jacks and virtual jacks on the MacBook Pro there, it jumps way ahead. I also went into Final Cut and took the AirPods review footage that you saw in the last video, so 4K footage, exported it to H.264, and the MacBook Air took almost double the time of the Pro, which was kind of expected. But also, just just like last time, I then took that H.264 export and converted it to HEVC, and it's cool to see that it's basically the same amount of time from the Pro to the Air thanks to that T2 chip doing all the work there. So after putting them side by side, if you're somebody who's going to benefit from the extra power on the MacBook Pro, if you do a lot of photo and video editing, that extra $200 towards it is definitely worth it. But on the flip side, one big advantage of having the MacBook Air is better battery life. So if you don't need that extra power, you can put that $200 towards something else, like more RAM, more storage, or an external drive. That though has been my comparison of the 2019 MacBook Air versus the 2019 MacBook Pro. Hopefully it helped out. And if you guys just picked one of these up and you need some tips and tricks, you can check out this video right over here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you later.